Bernie Sanders, and she said that she felt uncomfortable choosing Bernie Sanders, but simply did not feel like there was another candidate that she could choose. Another woman I talked to was in a much better mood. She said that at the caucus site where she was at, Elizabeth Warren was definitely
at least we got one there.
had a lot of
That's
supporters
nice.
in her corner, and then during the second round, she actually ended up getting more people in her corner, and a lot of them were Andrew Yang supporters. So a lot of excitement and nervous waiting game here at Elizabeth Warren's election night party, Wolf.
Very interesting, Art. MJ, thank you very much. Abby Phillip is over at Pete Buttigieg headquarters, also in Des Moines. I assume the crowd over there is anxious for some numbers.
They are, Wolf. The crowd is trickling into this room behind me, and we just heard a little bit of a chant breaking out as they're waiting for all of these results to come in. Now, Wolf, over the last couple of minutes, talking to campaign aides back in South Bend and here in Des Moines, they are looking and relying on their own organizers who are on the ground in precincts all across the state. And what they are hearing and what they've told CNN is that they feel pretty good about what they're seeing out there. They're seeing some strong results for Buttigieg in rural counties and in suburban counties where they are beating their own expectations. So in lieu of these official results that we still all don't have yet, the campaign is starting to rely on what they have on the ground, and they're seeing some viability in some of these precincts that he spent a lot of time pounding the pavement over the last week and a half and more, really trying to get those voters out in the tiniest of towns, the smallest of precincts, and particularly these crucial 31 pivot counties that went from Obama to Trump. Wolf.
Abby Phillip over at the Buttigieg headquarters in Des Moines. All right, we're waiting for some numbers to come in.
All right, so that's the latest there from Iowa and the campaigns from CNN. We'll get you the latest on that stuff as well. So this is, it really speaks to the importance of probably the two candidates have the best ground game are actually doing the best right now, and that is going to be obviously Warren and Sanders. So, and now we are incapable of turning off the volume, so that's nice. Anyway, I think that makes sense because Iowa, you're there for a long time preparing for this. You're there, you're campaigning, you're going to the Iowa State Fair. Like, how important is, like, I really think it almost never fails. Like, the ground game quality is a good indicator of the success that you may have in Iowa.
Is pretty strong. Iowa is usually a very competitive state because of the fact that, I mean, this year especially because of how many candidates we have in this race. But I think it's very critical if you're going to be running to do good in Iowa, because I think it will be an indicator on how you can do in your future, which is, I think, what is critical.
What do you mean by that? It's like an indicator of how you can do in your future. Like, what does it play for broader during the race?
If you do good in Iowa, I think that can show that you have enough ground support behind you that could really help you drive in other states and potentially win the nomination. You know, I think that, for example, Biden's not so good results show that he doesn't have a lot of on-ground support. He has more at-home support, which is not at all what you need in an election. You need more on-ground support and people who are going out to vote for you in primary, not just the general election.
I think excitement's such a key word there. If Biden doesn't win, do you think you're going to change your top
isn't
allegiance?
Excited.
What?
If Biden doesn't win tonight, or
yeah,
that's a good question. Actually, if Biden doesn't win tonight, I want to first get the votes in. If I were to change, my first pick would probably then move over to Klobuchar.
Huh? Not Bernie. What
No,
about Bernie?
Not Bernie
appeals?
as of yet.
What about Bernie does appeal to you?
That does. Well, I love his environmental plan. Besides, I know I mentioned it was a little bit too bold
with the Green New Deal
in certain areas and a little bit too fast. But you know what? I really, that is what is crucial, I think, for us right now. I think I got to put aside what I do and what I don't like of a candidate in return for areas that I do like of a candidate. Now, I'm not so fond of Medicare for All, similar to Brendan's opinion of it. I mean, look, Medicare for All doesn't get rid of private insurance. That's something that he didn't really understand of it. But you know what? That's fine. Everyone understands what Medicare for All is. You know, we are lucky to understand what certain key aspects of it are because we do a lot of research regarding these type of things. But the only thing I know about Medicare for All is I I find it a little bit too, not bold, but I find it a little bit too out there that could get done. While I like the idea of it and I like what the results I've seen from Canada, the only thing I don't like from it is the long wait times that persist with a single-payer healthcare system. I'm not saying I don't want anyone.
That's your biggest. That's your biggest thing.
I want people to save money. Yeah, I want people to save money. Like, I'm not like, oh no, we have to save private insurance. No. I don't like private insurance. I could care less about them. I just think that if we did a Medicare for all system, we definitely have to do it better than what Canada did. And I am worried that also on top of Bernie not having a Democrat Senate, I'm worried about how much we can actually get done that won't be, reversed if a Republican were to win in 2024 miraculously, which is exactly what Trump did. I mean, he just got rid of almost everything Obama did for Obamacare because half the stuff he did was through executive orders. That's the thing I'm most worried about. I feel as if a public option is a little bit more of a middle ground approach, especially since we do have Republicans in the Senate. But I mean, the idea of a Medicare for all, I mean, look, if it went through and became policy, I'm not going to be, crying upset. I'm not going to be protesting or anything like that. I would definitely be working to revise it and making better than what Canada has. But that's the only thing that I don't like about it, just the long wait times.
Yeah, it's definitely better. I think
single payer healthcare systems.
The Canada policy is really, I think, better than what we have now, even if it does have some problems.
Oh yeah, I mean, both
totally.
We have now. But what we got now is literally a oligarch for the private insurance companies. I mean, they have an overarching arm. Everything, amongst everything, health insurance wise, there's no government insurance that is actually good, that you wouldn't have to rely a little bit on private insurance. I mean, the fact that what we got for Obamacare right now is a joke. It's not even really healthcare. You still got to rely upon a private insurance to help insure you, which is quite ridiculous in my opinion.
Yeah, it's such a half measure. It's really kind of why it doomed to fail. I think it was really why it doomed to fail.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, the other thing I also do like about Bernie, I think he's a genuine guy. I think he's a real down-to-earth guy. I can definitely trust him with getting things done. The only thing I don't like about him, I definitely am a little bit worried. I mean, I am an active investor, but that's not the problem. I'm not looking for returns. It's not the top thing I'm looking for. But definitely for some people who are in the market, I definitely don't think the market would be on its highest bet in the beginning part of a Sanders presidency. But that's not really too important for me. Definitely has a slight impact, but it's not going to be like, oh no, this is the worst thing that's going to happen. No, I mean, a Sanders presidency would be a whole lot better than what we got now under Trump, and that's what. Yeah, I mean, but besides that, I mean, there's one other policy that I am a lot more moderate on, which is abortion, compared to almost all the Democrats in the field. I do consider myself pro-life, but I'm not completely against the idea of abortion. I mean, I'm more of like a Connor Lamb type guy who's from Pennsylvania. He's personally pro-life as well, like me, but he's okay in certain circumstances with abortion. So I'm also like more of a bigger name, Doug Jones, similar to him. I'm against legitimate abortions. Completely.
Yeah, so you're pretty conservative on
and I think that Sanders
the abortion rights, for what you're saying?
I would say moderate. I think a conservative is someone who's completely against it.
Oh yeah, so I mean, I think there's a kind of a certain point that
I'll allow
that everybody can agree on.
But
right? Yeah.
I think it's morally incorrect, abortion. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not here to get berated by women about this because it's like sometimes it's a little bit annoying.
Is it like I don't get the sense it's like the most passionate issue that you hold, really.
No, I mean, if I were to become president, I definitely would make more restrictions. If that's what you're trying to ask, I wouldn't be like the most pro-choice.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be like your number one. It wouldn't be like your number one priority, though.
No, it wouldn't be my number one priority. But I wouldn't not do what we have up here in New York, which is the Reproductive Act, which I think is absurd. Allows abortion all the way up until 9 months. That's literally murder right there. I mean, it's ridiculous what we have here. But that's besides the point. I mean, I think the other thing that I also do like about Bernie, though, I think he's genuine. I think he could get things done. I don't think that he'll be like a know-nothing type guy. I think he could definitely get things done that we need to get done in the country.
All right, so apparently the interesting thing is there is this new app that's causing people to struggle to log in to report. That was built to report this app that was built to report these results is now having people struggle to log into it. So that's a big possible reason for the delay there. Also getting reports here that many Biden donors have been on edge in recent weeks, terrified of the prospect of a Sanders surge. It can be interesting to watch the reaction of the donor class. And I'm not talking about the small donor class. I'm talking about the big donor class that really plays a big role, unfortunately, still in Democratic Party politics. So those two things are going to be very, very interesting to watch as we continue to find out what on God's green earth could be causing this big delay here. People are still caucusing. We're working to report results soon, says this official here. Earlier at 10 p.m., this Democratic State Party official told CNN's David Chalian they should have something near the top of the hour. Elizabeth Warren's election night ballroom party Des Moines right now is starting to fill up with Iowans who intend to various caucus sites. And many people, there's been some mixed emotions because apparently Elizabeth Warren, as we heard earlier from some of these people, didn't have the most successful run. And now let's get some of the reasons of why, and just this report now on CNN I want to get to, some of the reasons why this caucusing could be delayed here. So let's get into that.
A good story. They're relying on Twitter. They're relying on their precinct captains. And their early indication is that Senator Klobuchar is overperforming in places that were unexpected. She's doing well in precincts that are in the suburbs, in precincts that are more liberal. And they want to tell that story, but they also need the results to tell that story. So until that comes forward, at this point here at Klobuchar headquarters, they're just treading water, waiting for the results, hoping that the Iowa Democratic Party has some sort of explanation on what's happening here. A lot of confusion, concern about what exactly is going on here, Wolf.
Yeah, we'd like to know ourselves. All right,
yeah, treading water, I think, is
pretty good.
Yeah, treading water is definitely, I think, the base operating state that a lot of people,
Klobuchar,
everyone watching this is
right
in
on
right now.
Biden.
Yeah, I think. Did you think there's a chance that she could do better than Joe Biden tonight? Or
yeah, I do.
That would be really quite something. It would really be quite something.
I screw Biden. I'm not supporting that guy anymore.
Oh wow, we got a big change. Some breaking news.
Screw him.
Dun dun dun.
Screw him. I ain't supporting him anymore.
Why not? Why not? Why not?
You know what? I'm kind of done. I've been done for a little bit of time, to be honest with you. I mean, the whole thing with the go vote for someone else, pointing and this, I think he's a little bit crazy in some aspects.
Yeah, I was wondering when you figure that one out.
Yeah, no, you know what? I mean, you probably thought I was going insane. I mean, I really didn't like Biden for a good amount of time. I thought that I just liked the idea of him getting elected to get things done. But I think I got to change my endorsement over to Klobuchar, and then once she drops out, then I'll probably go over to Bernie. But if Bernie gets out, if Bernie wins tonight, and I'll make a deal. If Bernie wins tonight, and when I come back on Newsflash, for next week's New Hampshire, if he wins New Hampshire by a good amount, then maybe I will consider to support Bernie.
Polls seem to be polls do seem to be looking pretty favorable for Bernie in New Hampshire. Yeah, we'll get into more about how we're going to cover that when we get to it, because it better not take as long as this is taking, because Jesus. This is taking a while. Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to actually do an episode tomorrow about this.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, this is a caucus, another report from a caucus that seems to be massively for Bernie. And we don't know what that would be. This is from
an hour or 2 hours.
Rwanda
behind
HuffPost reporter. The Muslim community organization knows the 42nd Street Mosque seems to be going for Bernie. All right, what are we going to say?
I think they're an hour or 2 hours behind us as well. On top of
I think they're an hour.
So that's the other thing. Oh, an hour? Okay. So not that bad, but still, that's going to be taking a while to get the results, and I think. Yeah.
That I don't know. Hopefully because I've been having CNN up on the screen here in the studio, and it seems like they've said any moment now for the past 2 hours in really what is peak CNN.
Well, we got 2% right now of precincts reporting final alignment votes. So we are really not moving the ball that much. And it's already almost 11 o'clock.
2% of precincts reporting 0, 0, 0, 0 all the way through.